Hi guys, welcome to Get Curried. This is the Bombay chef Varun Inamdar, and what I bring to your kitchen today is butter chicken. Well, this is one of those gems that we end up ordering in a restaurant every time we place an order. Well, at least I do. So let's begin with this. Well, now there are two components to this recipe. One is the butter chicken, which is the chicken which we'll marinate, and the second one is the gravy. So first, let's begin with the chicken. I have some chunks of chicken here. I'm adding in a little bit of garlic paste, ginger paste, red chili powder and salt. Give it a nice mix. Well, I'm going to marinate the chicken pieces for 15-20 minutes. Well, now that the chicken has been marinating for some time, now let's start pan frying these. So I'm taking some oil. Now that the oil is medium hot, let's start frying these chicken pieces. Now that the chicken is almost done and ready, let's transfer this into another bowl. Well, this recipe has many reasons to be my favorite. One, because it tastes wonderful, and second, because it is absolutely made in the same pot. It's one of those which can actually be made in the same pot. You remember the word one pot recipe? This is one of those. I'm cutting this onion very roughly, because eventually I'm going to run this into a mixer grinder. Now the same pan in which we had cooked our chicken goes in the chopped onion, and now I'm going to add in a little bit of oil, and since it's butter chicken, we're going to add in a spoonful of butter. We're going to lightly sweat these onions. There we go, we're almost ready. Next goes in roughly cut tomatoes, and along with this we're going to add in some cashew nuts. Once this is evenly mixed, I'm going to add in some water. And along with this, now goes in the garlic paste. Next goes in some salt, malt vinegar, some sugar, garam masala powder, and some red chili powder. I'm going to evenly mix this. Now that this mixture is nicely mixed and ready, we're going to let this mixture simmer for at least 15 to 20 minutes till the time the entire thing becomes nice and mushy, so that we can then run it into a mixer to a fine paste. Now that this mixture has become nice and soft, I'm going to turn the flame off and transfer this into another container. Now this container is where I'm going to use a hand blender and churn it into a fine puree. And now I blend it into a fine pulp. Now that this has pureed well, I'm going to strain this in the same pan. Well, butter chicken is also called chicken makhani. And makhani, for all we know, is not only butter, but it's also velvety smooth in English. So remember that it has to be nice and smooth and buttery. So while sieving this mixture, we have to make sure we press as much as we can so that there is absolute minimal wastage. And what we have here is nothing but the seeds and the skin of the tomatoes. Now I'm just reheating this gravy, and now is the time where goes in the butter, cream, kasuri methi and the chicken. So first goes in the butter. Next goes in some cream. Next goes in the chicken. Now finally goes in the crushed methi. Now I'll let this gravy simmer for 5 to 7 minutes, and here you have butter chicken just done and ready. Now let's start plating. Now finally goes in some fresh cream and some kasuri methi. Chicken makhanwala, chicken makhani or butter chicken, whatever the name is, the recipe remains the same. Do try it at home and do let us know how you like it. So here, this is for you. Hi guys! Today I'm going to make one of the most requested recipes on the channel, which is chicken biryani. This is the Bombay chef Varun Inamdar, and welcome to Get Curried. There are 3 steps to making the chicken biryani. Let's begin with the first one, which is making the chicken. For that, I'm taking some oil in a pan and I'm going to heat this on moderate flame. Along with this, I'm going to add in some ghee. Once the ghee and oil get moderately hot, I'll be adding in the garam masala. And after that, the peeled potatoes. We let the potatoes cook till they are nice and golden brown. And in the interim, I'm going to start marinating the chicken. For that, I'm going to take some yogurt along with ginger garlic paste, some salt, some turmeric powder, red chili powder, fried onions, and tomatoes. Mix this nicely. This is done and ready. Keep checking on the potatoes. Chicken goes in. Give it a nice mix. Once this is seared and ready, I'm going to add in a little bit of water. Give it a stir. I'm now going to cover this and cook it on medium flame till it's done. I'm going to move this to the flame right next here. And in the interim, let's start making the rice. For which I'm going to take some ghee in a pan along with a little bit of oil. Once the oil heats up, I'm going to add in some garam masala. I'm going to lower the flame and add in water. I'm going to add in some salt. I'll wait for the water to come to a roll boil. In the interim, what I've done here is I have washed and soaked long grain basmati rice. I've just soaked it for somewhere around 15 to 20 minutes, and that's more than enough time required to soak the rice. The water's come to a roll boil. I'm adding in the rice very carefully. Give it a light stir and continue cooking this on high flame. Let's check for the doneness of the rice. Well, it's almost 3/4 done. Time is now to put the flame off. I'm going to drain this rice. So I've got a colander right here in which I'm going to drain this. The rice is drained and ready. Let me check for the chicken now. Well, that's almost done. Just giving it a mix. Now that the chicken is almost done, I'm placing in 2 boiled eggs. And after this goes in the drained rice. The trick to a good fluffy biryani is you should not press the rice. Always move the rice like this and make sure it gets nice and even. On goes the lid, and you can place this on high flame for exactly 8 minutes and then on low flame for 2 minutes, and that's when a beautiful biryani will get ready. Let's check if the biryani is done. Here you have it, ready. Off goes the flame. Now let's begin the plating. Finally, I'm going to garnish this with some fried onions along with fresh mint and fresh coriander. beautiful chicken biryani is ready. Simple, isn't it? Do try it at home and do let us know how you like it. And wait for what next? The Bombay chef gets into your kitchen. Hi guys, this is the Bombay chef Varun Inamdar and welcome to Get Curried. Well, I bring tandoori chicken into your kitchen today. Tandoori chicken without an oven, yet smoky, yet flavorful. The first step is to take a clean and patted dry chicken, and what I'm doing is I'm creating a few gashes in this. So by gashes, I mean these incisions, these deep cuts, so that the marination and the masalas go right straight in. So the chicken is cut and ready. Now is the time to start marinating this. So what I have here with me is some fresh yogurt, red chili powder, ginger garlic paste, turmeric, and salt to taste. I'm going to rub all these masalas to these pieces of chicken. Make sure it's nicely rubbed in. I'm just making sure the marination reaches each and every cut and incision of this piece. I'm now going to rest this for 30 minutes at room temperature. Let it nicely marinate. Well, allow me to wash my hands as well. Now that the chicken is marinated and ready, let's begin the frying process. The first thing that goes is some oil in a pan, and along with this, a little bit of salted butter. Allow this to heat. Once the oil is moderately hot, I'll start putting in the pieces of chicken. Just have to make sure you do not overcrowd the pan, otherwise they start releasing a lot of liquids and moisture. The chicken has been cooking for 1.5 minutes on the first side. I've given it a flip. And now if you see, the color is nice and golden brown, exactly like the tandoori chicken baked in a tandoor. It's been roughly around 10 to 12 minutes. The chicken has nicely cooked on all the sides. It has cooked in right till the center. Off goes the flame. I'm transferring this into a deep bowl. Here is a magic trick to give this chicken the taste and flavor of a tandoor. I have a piece of charcoal which I'm now going to light on the gas. So let it nicely char and become red in color, and then I show you what I do with that. Finally, the trick to create smoke like tandoor. So I'm using a small steel glass, and on top of this, I'm going to place the red coal. Let's create the magic smoke. A few splashes of oil, and on goes the lid. Let this be nicely covered for like 1.5 minutes. Let all the chicken pieces get the flavor of smoke, and then we'll start plating. And ta-da! The tandoori chicken is ready. Off goes the piece of charcoal, and now let's start plating. So here you have this beautiful and rustic tandoori chicken for you and your family. Wait for what next the Bombay chef gets in your kitchen. Hi guys, welcome to Get Curried. This is the Bombay chef Varun Inamdar, and today I get a very typical Bombay street food to you. It's called the Anda Bhurji, or the egg bhurji? Let's begin. Anda bhurji is a spicy scrambled egg for which I'm going to use some onions and chop them finely. Onions are cut and ready. In a moderately hot pan, I'm adding in a little bit of oil. And along with this, some butter. While the butter is still melting, I'm sliding in the chopped onions. A quick stir and allow these onions to sweat a little. In the interim, let's chop the chilies and ginger. I'm just going to snip the stalk and chop these roughly. Well, this too now goes with the onions. A quick mix. And while this is sauteing, let's chop some tomatoes. The tomatoes are chopped and ready. Also, the onion, ginger and chili have sauteed well. Time to add in the tomatoes and continue sauteing it till it becomes nice and pulpy. To aid this process, I'm just sprinkling a little bit of salt. Along with this, let's start adding the powder spices. The first one that goes in is some turmeric. The next, red chili powder. This can be as per your choice because remember, you've also added some green chilies. And finally, the magic spice powder, which all Mumbai stall owners by default have it in their kitty. So here is the pav bhaji masala. A nice mix. Just make sure the masalas just cook in well. This is the time when the flame can be lowered and the masalas need to cook nicely for 5 to 7 minutes. In the interim, let's break the eggs and start whisking them. A little bit of salt to season the eggs. Remember, the masalas already have the salt. And now let's whisk this. The beaten eggs go straight in the mixture. This needs to be mixed nicely and evenly on a very slow flame. Keep scraping the sides. Now that this mixture has mixed well, you can increase the flame a little and just make sure you keep stirring it till it's completely well done. One thing which is important for you to know is that an egg cooks at 60 degrees. So any temperature beyond that, the egg is well done. But here you can keep stir frying it if you think you need it drier or you need it a little moist. That choice is yours. The bhurji is done and ready. Off goes the flame. And now let's add in some fresh coriander. So here you have your ultimate Bombay style Bhurji Pav, which is done and ready. Do try this at home, do like, do share, do subscribe to the channel and tag us on social media, not only when you make this at home, but also when you eat this outside with your friends. Have fun.